You know what? I've grew up, found out for all you young people, I got closer to being my dad than I ever thought I would be. uh, I've got 4 kids and 8 grandkids, and all good young men. I'm married to my wife now for 25 years, I think. I hope I'm right. She hears this, I'll be in trouble.
I just went ahead and started the recording now, so you guys
Okay.
are good. You can start whenever you guys want to start.
Gotcha. We just have a short, typical intro that we go through, and then
with
hop
a
right
cheesy
into
joke,
Yeah,
always.
That's the end of the intro. Is I give a
No
cheesy
problem.
joke. So
So bad.
hopefully you'll laugh.
You start on you guys actually this time, and then like kind of reveal Danny.
Yeah. So whenever Ashley starts talking the second time, so she'll be saying, "To tackle this question, we've been joined by." So
And then I'll hit that.
yeah, cool.
Ta-da.
All right, everybody ready?
Yep.
All right.
Let's do it. Welcome to Her Talks, the podcast.
Oh, wait, real quickly. You'll actually want to start by talking into this one. Yeah.
That. Oh.
Yeah, we're on this one.
See, he didn't do this.
Yeah, I was like,
You started before he went like it.
Yeah, because I'm starting on this shot.
Gotcha.
yeah.
So we'll
And
So
I,
it's this
I knew
one.
that in my
Yeah.
head. It was
Yeah.
just habit to look
Yeah,
at it.
we always look at that one.
Yeah.
Okay. Welcome to Her Talks, the podcast for Marshall students by Marshall students. I'm Luke Jeffrey.
I'm Ashley McClure.
And have you heard? School spirit. It's probably something you were awarded for in high school, but how prevalent is it really?
To tackle this question, we have been joined by Marshall's current head men's basketball coach, as well as temporary member of the Alabama band, Dan Antoni. Thank you for joining us today.
Thank you for having me. It's exciting. I don't know if I'd have gone as far with the Alabama thing, but it was good. It was a good time for me.
Do you want to tell everybody kind of what the band member was, because they weren't here?
Well,
when we
I
were
took
talking
my
earlier.
college education, became a waited tables with beer down in Myrtle Beach, and the house band happened to be Alabama band, and they sang the whole time, and really they deserve all the success they had. They really worked hard at their craft. So something I learned from that is how hard you have to work to get on top of something, and they would play at the Bowery in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. And they would stay on the stage. They never took a break. You didn't have a half an hour break. They stayed and played from 8 o'clock at night till 1 approximately. And so they have to have restroom breaks. Everybody's drinking beer. They're drinking beer. And so they'd have to have restroom breaks. And they would call 2 waiters. There were 2 of us that would go up there and sing a song or 2. With 3 of them. One of them would be in the restroom, and then they'd come on and off. So we were the restroom break guys, but it was fun.
You made your appearance. Your debut was
Yeah.
Alabama band.
A lot of great
Bowery.
music, and a lot of enjoyable. And they made the tips that I earned taking the beer higher because
Oh.
Nice.
people were in a good mood.
Yeah.
Yeah, good deal. Mr. D'Antoni has expressed concern about a lack of energy at games in the past, and he's actually taken great steps to combat this, which we'll get to in a minute. But while I'm thinking about it, I was doing some research in this topic, and I read an article this morning, actually, that it talked about venue being one of the greatest things to increase engagement and fan experience. And do you know what the best venue is?
Well, the best venue is putting students front and center,
Oh.
and using their energy. People who are my age and older, we need you. It's like when I'm coaching, I have younger assistants. I need their legs, and we need you to really bubble out, and to enjoy Marshall University, and not just athletics, everything. I think just your experience at Marshall. Other than getting good grades, I don't want to. All you academic people, I don't want to do anything to upset you. But I do think you need to broaden the experience of being in a college and not just ingrain yourself in your your major or into certain classes that there is a social aspect and there is a learning part of a social gatherings. And so, I want that. I want that to happen. I think it'll help Marshall. Like I said, regardless of which sport, regardless of what venue, going to band concerts or when they're performing or the arts here, being a part a little bit more than just opening the book, standing in your room, and doing your little gadgets in front of TVs or your phones. Get off, speak to people. There's a big process of learning that occurs when that happens.
As an academic person, it has been nice to get out and go to some games. I got an internship with University Communications in the fall, so I worked taking pictures and making feed posts for football, a little bit for basketball, as well as being everyone's favorite furry friend on campus.
There you go.
So that's super fun. But going back to the venue, the article I read this morning, it actually said that the best place to hold fan engagements is a cemetery because they have a lot of spirits.
That's the dry joke.
It's a dry joke. You knew it was coming.
Okay, we got it. That's good.
Oh, God.
Here we go.
Okay.
Steinfeld, you may not be. I don't know.
I could work on the comedy aspect. But
Y'all probably don't know who Steinfeld is.
a little bit. I'm
A little bit.
Not. They're not around too much,
Right.
But seen clips. Well, Dan, thank you for joining us again. For those who don't know, like my co-host here, we went through your Wikipedia page this morning to educate her a little bit.
Yes, need some background.
Give us a quick just overview of who is Dan D'Antoni for those who might not be super familiar with you.
Born in a small town to a great family. Sometimes, that's probably the greatest blessing I had is that you have good parents and a good family. So it's hard to mess up after that if they give you a good start like that. So didn't have to overcome a whole lot of issues from that. They let me be me. My dad and mom expected a lot but didn't demand a lot. There's a way to walk that path to me. Sometimes when you demand too much, you get very little. But when you allow you to walk your own path, then, with a proper push a little bit here and there occasionally, you get where you're going. So just started out probably in our family, probably the wildest of the crew, and that's moderate. That's not real wild, but probably a lot more off the cuff than the others. And went to school and played athletics and played them all when I was young. And I liked theater. I was in the theater. I was in the school's play, the senior play that they put out in high school. And I didn't run for office, but I was the campaign manager for the president's senior class. And I like to do a lot of things. I'm probably not good at anything, but I've experienced in a lot of things. But enjoyed school, enjoyed people. I have to have my space at times, but I enjoy people, and I see the best part. I hope in the best part of people, and I don't come in with a negative thought. You have to prove yourself different, being that. But you know what? I've grew up, found out for all you young people, I got closer to being my dad than I ever thought I would be. I've got 4 kids and 8 grandkids, and all good young men. I'm married to my wife now for 25 years, I think. I hope I'm right. She hears this, I'll be in trouble. But I've been blessed. believe there's a path that we all take, and that there's people who watch over you, or a person who walks over you. Maybe not a person, or however you want to frame it. But I do think that there's people that watch out for you, And so if you do the right things, you work real hard, and you're a little bit lucky, and it doesn't always work. Sometimes you have your ups and downs, and I've gone through them. But I've done a little bit of everything, even in my occupations. I've been a part of 4 restaurants now, a bumper boat pool, an ice cream parlor. I ran a chain of 12 stores for a couple of years. I've done a little bit of everything. And, you work from day one. I've been working ever since, and going to turn 75, and I'm still working. So, I've never really had a year off or anything, but had a variety of experiences which have helped me. I've enjoyed it. Some were better than others, and sometimes are better than others. But if you added up the whole package, I've been very blessed.
If you enjoy what you do, though, you don't really need that time off.
Yeah.
Well, true, but you know what? Enjoying what you do is a little bit of you. My mom used to always say, you got up today, son, make the best of it. And it's up to you, I always tell my players, I said, when they come back, I hear them. And I told my sons and daughter, I have one daughter, but, if you go to a party and you come back and tell me boring, I go, wait a minute now. There's nothing in PARTY that's boring, except if you win. You may be boring. The party's not boring, so you can make everything of what you want it to be. I've lived in different levels of financial success, and I was happy in all of them. It's not. It's something to me. You determine your happiness, and if I give a message to anybody, I will say that to them. You know what? You find a way to be happy. And that's what life's about. And I've enjoyed mine, and I'm happy.
That's
There's
good. That's good to hear.
I've seen going around a lot recently, students, maybe not students, but young adults, teens, they've talked a lot about romanticizing your life and being the main character. Those are the phrases they use. But it's exactly what you've talked about.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And I've tried to take some of the steps in my life. Like every morning I'll play a nice song as I'm walking to like my first class. And it really sets your mood for the entire day.
Music is big a part of setting moods, and sometimes I worry about the modern music. I'll be honest with you. All the music when I grew up was about your girlfriend being in love and all of that stuff. It seems to have it's still there some. You can still find it, obviously, but it took a little left turn somewhere along the way about being cool and being tough. I don't get that, being cool and being tough. Just be you, be happy, and live life.
The music I listen to is very not modern. I'm a classical fan.
Oh, good.
So
Well, you're right there.
It's
then.
1500s that I'm
Right,
listening to.
right. Well, there's nothing wrong with that.
On the note of music, though, let's backtrack a little bit to you talked about people watching over you. Isn't Alabama the band that sings "Angels Among Us"? Did you ever get to sing that song?
You did that, didn't you? No, I didn't. But it's fly. They did, and it was like walking in the woods, and he got lost.
Yeah.
And he came back, and somebody led him home. And it's an angel among us, and I truly believe that. And that doesn't mean you're not going to experience down times. It's downtime will come up if you handle it properly.
Well,
you just
and
got to handle it right.
The downtime has to be there for the person to guide you out of it, whatever you believe it may be. So,
no question. It's like athletics. You have to lose to really experience winning, and then that gives you a good appreciation of winning. So it's a roller coaster ride. I'll give you a little story. On the roller coaster is that there was this man, 2 men were dating this young female, and she chose one to marry and not the other. One was a entrepreneur who was kind of crazy and daredevil and out doing different things. The banker was solid, he inched his way through life. So her her husband passed away at a downtime when she didn't have any money, and left. And she was at the burial site, and the other former suitor came up to her and said, "I guess you wish you'd have married me." And she turned around and looked at him. She said, "Well, if you go to to a park or to a rides area, there's the roller coaster, and then there's the not Ferris wheel, but merry-go-round. And you know what? You don't see very many people lining up for that merry-go-round. I rode the roller coaster, and it was fun."
That's true. That's very true. You just brought up athletics. So how, going into that kind of category, how did you feel about this season? I'm sure.
It was one of those, we hit a dip.
I'm sure you all had a great appreciate for winning.
Well, we will. We got to pull out this dip. But, it's disappointing. The players are disappointed. Fans are disappointed. And that's part of this job. It's what makes it fun and makes it difficult all at the same time. You press yourself a little bit. You have to be careful that your angst ruins performances. Confidence gets you through a lot of things, and so we have to gather ourselves, redo it. We played some good games. We beat some good teams. We beat UAB, who won our conference, and we were right there at several others. We hit a rough spot. We started off pretty good, and then it just hit a slide. We had some COVID problems. We had some injuries, and we just didn't handle it real well. And all in all, though, I'm not ashamed by any stretch. If the young men were giving us their best, I think our coaching staff and myself gave our best, and so there's nothing to hang your head about. But you got to be more determined to change it around and see if we can't bring the success that we want to bring back to Marshall.
Yeah, it's I don't. It's covered it all well professionally. I can tell you've done it a few times. Probably answer that same question.
Well, not not as often. I haven't had too many dips. This was a pretty good dip. So I think when I first got here, it was more of our record wasn't, it was about the same, but we were building. We were at the bottom. We built to where we are, and we just all of a sudden dipped, which is not preferable in any coach's mind. But then after that, I'd have to go back to when I was coaching high school for 28 years, maybe one year. So I haven't experienced this too often, but again, I'm proud of the young men that play here and how they represent Marshall, and we're going to determine to get it back to the high times and go to San Diego or wherever they have that NCAA tournament.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it sounds like you're looking forward to next year, right?
I always look forward to next year. Like I told you, Mom said, you woke up today, rests on you. Mm-hmm. So, I always look forward to it. I think that's positivity, and again, I hope I exude it. I want to, I just think that's a better way to live. It's just for everybody that is around you and for yourself. It's just if you're fearful or you're always worried about failure, or I go to all these different little things that I've learned through my life. My dad always told me, if you're running a race, don't look beside you and don't look behind you, because you'll lose the race. So, you try to do what's right. You put your mindset and you run forward, and you run as hard as you can run. Yeah. And hopefully you'll tear the tape. If you don't, you're not really ashamed of what's going on. You just didn't make it. It happens. So we're going to start again this year, and we're going to see that tape, and we're going to run for it.
Yeah. I like that mentality.
It really, as long as you be the best version of yourself, I feel like there's really no reason to be ashamed of that, because that you could not have done better. So as long as you know within yourself that you are doing your best, you can't always compare yourself to other people.
I think that is the secret, is that you have to know what your best is. That's important. Mm-hmm. Some people want to take a half effort and say they're giving their best. Sometimes you need a little coach every now and then in your life to prod you a little further than get you out of your comfort zone and push you a little bit. Yeah. But I think once you realize how hard that push is and you start to master that work ethic and the confidence that comes with that, then, I think you're going to have a lot more W's than L's and a lot more success than losses. So, we try to do it that way, do the best I can, and see what happens.
Yeah. Well, not only did the team dip this year, we know that, but the fan engagement and experience has also dipped, which at the last semester, you actually held a meeting for students to come together and innovate ideas to get this fan experience up. Do you want to talk a little bit on kind of why?
Yeah, we have a great fan base here, older fan base. And it was hard to tell our student involvement in that there's not any real proper seating to tell where you are. You're not setting in masses. It's 5 over here and 6 over there and 7, and you don't get an idea of exactly how many are in the arena and what's not. When I played, when I came out, the entire side opposite our benches was all students, maybe 10 rows. When you came to games, they would be lined up at 4 o'clock. They'd walk where the soccer field is now. That's where Memorial Fieldhouse was. And they would walk from the school all the way down. And the school was only about 5,000 students. So it was small, but yet the percentage of student participation was very high. And it was fun. It was fun for the team. It was fun for the students. Everybody got excited. And that's what athletics is. It's a great way to give students something to enjoy. And I've always think, and I did this when I was a high school teacher and coach, that having school pride and being proud of your school and having a spirit for your school makes going to school fun. And you find that outside the books. And I'm not saying don't do your books. I'm saying make sure you do that and make sure you keep your grades where they belong. But you've got to try to put yourself into the school. And I did, and it's lasted now for, 50 years. That I still have a lot of pride in Marshall, get excited when I see Marshall's name or anything that they achieve or that they're doing, or Marshall students or Marshall former students. So, it gives you something in life other than yourself. You can give back to the school that gave to you. And again, school will give you more if you give more to the school. Mm-hmm. So it's a kind of a two-way street. And so we were trying to get our students better seating. I don't think it's as good. I might get in a little trouble here from the people above me, because there are some complications in getting it done. But I would like to see the younger faces across from me and give me the energy that helps me be a better coach, and I know it'll help our team be better players.
Yeah, like you were saying, having that support there, visually, you're seeing that all these students are cheering on for your team. Yeah. That not only uplifts you, but the whole team and just the whole stadium.
Now, you'd be surprised if you've not been an athlete on the floor in front of a lot of people. It makes a huge difference.
Yeah.
And then, afterwards, we all party together, we all have a good time together. And I don't, our athletes are part of the student body. I try to pick my team that are good students who, do the academic part of the school. I think that's important for them, that we try to get them in classes here, not so much online. Now, it's a little difficult first semester, but we try to get them into the classroom as much as possible. And because I want them to have that experience. I think for us on the reverse side is that we experience the academic part of the school, and that our kids are involved in a lot of things other than just our sport. I know that if you went to the soccer matches. It was my 7-footer that had the drum that was beating that drum for the soccer team. And, we try to encourage them to go to different events, whatever it is, on campus and be a part of the university, not just a part of the men's basketball team.
Yeah. That the larger family of Marshall University is a very important experience. I know even as a Jaeger scholar, the idea of the program was actually modeled after athletics, after basketball teams and the football teams, and that experience of a unit. And they wanted to give the academic kids kind of that same atmosphere. And that's the one thing they tell us is when we come in, I still remember my first week here as a scholar, they looked at me and they said, "We're paying you because you're smart and you represent us, but you have to be more than that. It's not enough to just be smart." Right. And, growing up, that was kind of like my thing in high school. Like, I was smart. And that was kind of like almost came as a culture shock to me to say, you have to be more than smart. Yeah. I was like, what? And
well, when you say you patterned after athletics, that's what separates good players from great players. Great players make everybody around them greater, not just themselves. And that's sharing yourself and putting yourself in positions to help the common good of all, and not yourself. And that's extremely important. I think that's what life's about. If everything that you've done or accomplished only affects you, that's pretty shallow success. But if everything you've done benefits you and also affects a lot of people around you in a good way, in a positive way, that's more deep success. That's great success. So, I obviously put that Jaeger scholar right around what makes athletes good to great.
It's that same concept. And would you something that I see on campus is that a lot of people aren't getting involved in these type of experiences of getting around to other places. Everything it's very self-centered. They're not getting into organizations. Do you think this plays into kind of that school pride and spirit that they're not really getting involved with the entire Marshall family, and it's more self-centered instead of?
Well, I don't know if it's self-centered. It might be a product of COVID.
That's what I was thinking.
Bit. I think a lot of that is just personally, I'm finding it hard to get back into the activity, as much activity as I had outside my house, outside my little routine, of getting back into that activity and enjoying what I used to know. And I'm starting to do that more now, and I'm starting to realize what I missed. Sometimes you get as a person, and everybody experiences it. Probably you get in a routine, and you think the worst things can happen if you break that routine. Sometimes breaking routine's good, and change is always good. Well, I shouldn't say always good. Change is always going to happen, and you have to make it good. And I hope that I really think, my way of thinking, if as a student coming here, if you give of yourself back to school and put yourself in different things that the school offers, not just into the one thing that maybe they offer you, but into things that a variety of things, then your experience here will be much deeper, and you'll carry that with you, like I did for 75 years, and I've always wanted to come back here. This was a great time for me. So, and I like I said, I was very blessed that I got great memories to carry with me.
Yeah, and it seems like you're creating more along the way as well in different roles and giving other students that same experience.
Well, when I stop doing that, I need to retire. That's going to tell me I'm not doing what I should be able to do. Right. And the winning is a part of that. We talk about the season we had here. Winning is a part of that success that I have to be able to produce. You're always going to have a bump in the road. I don't want to quit on something too soon. But again, my whole goal is to create an environment that you enjoy, that y'all are having fun, that serves the kids that we bring here on scholarship that play on the team, and serves the athletic department on a whole. And if I feel, if I feel I'm contributing, I want to keep going. I'm pretty good health, and been blessed with that, and I'll keep going. But when that stops, it's time to put this old horse out to the farm. And there's probably a few people out there say, "Would you hurry up?" but I'm trying to stay relevant. And right now, I think our young men respond to me, and they're going out, and I've gotten to teach them a game that I love, that was taught to me by a lot of good people, and I've been blessed with experiences that have made me better at it. And I sometimes have nothing original other than relaying a lot of different thoughts that I picked up throughout the years that they've told me this is the right way to go and the best way to help others.
Yeah. It really takes a lot to be able to examine yourself. Like you say, you are to be looking for, am I still doing the right thing? Am I still making an impact? Not many people can do that, and I think it really speaks volumes on you.
Yeah, it shows your personality.
Well, I don't know about all that.
Well,
Again, I don't go too deep. It is who I am, and some people can look at it in different ways, but that's who I am, and I've had to grow do that too. It's not something that maybe I started out with as well as I should have, and you have to grow to that type of person. Yeah. And I've been a lot of help along the way. That is from people who have helped me be into that type of thinking, So, a little bit of it's luck, a lot of it's hard work, a lot of it is being open. And I think I always use these cliches, but you have to change with the times. I'm not the same coach I was 30 years ago or 40. I've been coaching 48 years, I think. I'm not the same coach. I'm different. I put up a sign one time when I was with the Lakers, and I said, McDonald's is the number one hamburger chain in America. And in order to stay that way, they had to start selling breakfast. And so, you always have to change. You have to tweak who you are. Yeah. You have to keep evolving as a coach, as a person. And it makes a much richer experience in life when that happens.
Yeah, that's all great stuff.
Well, I don't know about that. But that's the way I think. I told you you'd have to cut me off.
No, I enjoy you talking.
No, we enjoy it.
And we've really enjoyed having you here today, Mr. D'Antoni. Just thanks again for joining us and taking your time to be here and interact with students. It seems like you're really involved, and that's great from our perspective as the students. We really like to see people who are involved with us. It tells us that you're more than just a figure somewhere that kind of exists in a plane that we don't interact with, and you're actually a real person. You mean something to us. You want to make a difference. Yeah,
and you're putting in the effort, which we all really appreciate.
What I like to see is y'all have a good time. I'm not going to run the mile anymore, but I sure like watching y'all. When I was running the mile, I enjoyed it. Now I'm watching it a little bit and enjoying what y'all do. And I want to be a part of that. Y'all make my life a lot richer, and I hope that you'll get out. And the last thing I'll say to them is get out and enjoy the university. Yeah. Of course, I push basketball because I'm the basketball coach, so I want you to be a part of that. Right. But go out and enjoy it and have fun and study hard, get your grades, but enjoy yourself. Open up to other people. That's where what life's about.
Yeah. We've really enjoyed having you on here today. If you want to see more or learn more about Coach D'Antoni, go catch him at a basketball game.
Yeah, go Herd.
In the spring. Go Herd. If you haven't caught up on all of our other episodes, be sure to go check those out. And we have some more really fun interviews in store for you all to be releasing over the summer. You can find those in our podcast directories, which are in the description of wherever you're watching or listening to this at. be sure to go follow us on all of our social platforms so there's nothing you haven't heard on campus.
See ya.
Go Bird.
Do you want to give us a little musical number of your Alabama days?